All right, welcome everybody to a very exciting show. We've got two very special guests in the house tonight. We've got Rocket and we got Until1mil. If you guys haven't had a chance, Rocket is like our king of scalpers. Let's go over here and find Rocket. Here he is, Rocket Scalping. He is like the man, the myth, the legend. He's actually created his own indicator. He's got his own short and long indicator that he's got going. The guy is really does amazing. Now, listen, there's that joke about lawyers. If you pack like 10 lawyers onto a bus that's got 11 seats, it goes off the side of the cliff. What's the bad news about it, right? It's got one empty seat on it, right? But this guy is a little bit different, okay? We don't know how, but he's paid us to say he's a little bit different. He's actually the good kind of lawyer. He's the one that quit, right? So everybody welcome Rocket to the house. If you haven't, please go out there, give this young, fine gentleman a follow. He's got 1,956 whole whopping followers. He is kind of new to the Twitter space, so would love to see you get out there, reach out there, give this gentleman a follow. Let's see if we can get get him over 2,000 at least for this stream. That would be super amazing if you can get him over 2,000 followers for this stream. Please get out there. We've also got the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Until1mil. Now, I have to warn everybody out there, don't get too close to those speakers. He's got some kind of something wrong with him right now. We're not sure if he's pregnant or he's got some kind of a weird respiratory disease. I'm going for pregnant because I think that's probably what it is. It's early morning there. Say hello, Mr. Until1mil. What's going on, brother?
Hi, man. Can you hear me well?
He's got that sexy, sultry voice rocking out today for the stream. Hi, ladies. Rocket, say hello to everybody out there, brother. How you doing?
How's it going, guys?
Good. Look, all right. So we've got the crew in the house today. We got the Trading Associates Masterminds in the house. Jesus Lord, I haven't had this many. This is my first threesome. I want you to know I've had on the show. So listen, I couldn't have picked a better threesome than with these two guys right here. Neither one of them are my type. Okay, too much back here for me, but you know we're just gonna roll with this. So we're gonna start off with a little bit of TNA, not the kind of TNA you guys are expecting on this kind of a threesome, but we're gonna start off with a little a little different style of TNA right here. Listen. If you look at, let's take a look at my notes really quick. I'm going to pull this off. I feel I'm kind of getting back in the saddle right here a little bit. I would like to say that, you know, I'm always rusty when I come back after like a long stay away from crypto. And, you know, honestly, man, you're 2-3 days away from the trading and you got to come back and get your bearings. We were on this TD9 on the 12-hour. So we're on this 12-hour TD9. We hit a perfected 9. In our notes, we said, listen, we hit a perfected 9 on bearish volume, right? And these perfected 9s, if you guys watched the show 2 days ago, you would have saw that I said, just like the notes said, I said they do not like to bleed, right? We do not like to bleed on TD9s. Here's a TD9. There, it bled right there. Right, here's another TD9. There was the bleeding right there. These TD9s do not like to bleed out, just like it shows in this chart, just like it said in the notes. Now, I expected to have a bounce, right? I said 3,700, 3,770 topside resistance, but I really didn't expect to have this much of a bounce. I was thinking a little shallower of a bounce and then a retrace down. Listen, I really am not changing my tune here much still. I have to say I'm still looking for a little more to the downside. Now I'm going to mark my level, my 3770 level up here, right? I'm going to throw it right up in there somewhere-ish. We're just going to call it right there. Let me pull this up, make it a little chunkier and dot it up. There we go. Okay. So I still think we could go up a little bit more here. There's no reason we can't. We've had two great volume candles. Now, I have to say, the volume has just completely died out here. If you take a look at this, see, that's the volume candle right there, right? No, you're not watching green alien porn. That is actually a green candle on a 12-hour. That's 4 hours into that candle. That's a long way to get into a 12-hour candle with very little volume to show for it right there. and I still think, and I put this back, I said, it's not that I think this move, which was a pretty nice little move right here, was bots. I don't think bots did this at all. I would have to look at this and say that there was some buying that went on here. Whether people were rushing into alts, into Tron or something else, somebody was rushing into something, and I would look at this as people were buying up BTC. Jumping into alts here is what the only thing I can estimate. Now, I see a lot of charts with a lot of people going really bullish here. I have to say, yes, I do still want to see this go up. I don't like the count here. I like this as an A. I like this as a B. I just don't like this as a finished B, even though this could be a finished B. And I would like to see a C wave up here. That's why I have this green arrow, right? And I've told you guys, I still see this as a 5. 3 and a 5 going up, and it can be a truncated 5. It could be a flat ABC. It could go up just a little bit higher. I still am. I'm uncertain at this point right now, and I'm hoping we can we can get some Until and we can get Rocket. And I think we're gonna do is we got Rocket. Rocky, you ready to go? I see a lot of charts moving around. He's got a lot of stuff. So with that being said, now one more thing. I just want to go over another couple things really quick before we get Rocket the hand this off to the Rock. But one of the things is if you look at this 2017 weekly historical 3550-ish, I just want to say bounced off it once, broke through it, dead cat bounce, dead cat bounce, dead cat bounce. We just cannot get through this, and this thing is real deal here. Right, this line is a real deal line right there. There it is. That is your historic. You pull this over here and you can get a good idea of what I'm talking about when I say this. Look at this. Just bounce, 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 support. Resistance came up as resistance. Came down as support, came down as support, just can't get through this damn line. Finally, we broke up and we're just kind of trapped inside this support and resistance areas. But this is just a beast to get through, this 35.15. If you go back on your weekly, you'll see where it's at. It's that last wick over there in 2017, the heavy-duty wick that caused the final support for the run up to 20K. So I want you to know that is very significant that we've dead cat bounced off that puppy quite a few times. On my other chart, I'm going to show you this. This is all right, one more. Where is it at? Come here. Here it is right here. Okay, this was your inverted head and shoulders support right here. This is significant. You see the little tap right there, right? Perfectly came over and look, tapped just absolutely to the dime. Both places, it worked as support on both places. So that just shows you how crazy that was. The price action came down, bounced exactly off the same spot twice. Now this time, look, last time, previous, when we bounced off, look at nice bounce, the nice run, and then just died, and then came back up. Now, if this were to be a mirror image of what happened back up here, right? And I have to say over and over and over again, it's like bang, 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 like, right? I mean, this is kind of what happened up here over and over with these dead cat bounces right on my very specific line. You guys all know that I had my, this is my, the kryptonite zone 60. So this is my 6450 was my kryptonite zone, and I will listen, that is going to go down in history as like the strongest support and resistance line in the history of crypto. How well this line played out through history. I mean, this thing was just a beaten and battered line, right? This was a husband not getting any love on Tuesdays until finally it just fell through. He'd had enough and he went out and got a side piece, and then that just ruined his life. The second he got a side piece, he started dating a stripper. His wife found out about it. Kids, car, wife, dog, all left him. Guy was screwed forever. I feel we're in the same situation right now. We're just banging along this line, this historical line. over on, we're just banging along the same exact historical line, looking to make a really bad life choice, right? You're going to date Coco the stripper, or are you going to stay with your wife and just start rubbing it out on Tuesdays? You got to figure it out, all right? So I'm going to, on that rubbing it out note, we're going to hand it on over to Rocket. Rocket, what do you got going on, brother?
Oh man, I don't know. Like this isn't that hard to me. This whole range, this whole move is. We've seen this before, right? The market makers do this all the time. You know, they pump us up like this, and then they dump it once. People say, okay, it's gonna bounce here. Then they long it. Then it dumps again. They get fucked. And then it dumps again. They're like, fuck it, I'm gonna short this, and then it pumps on them. This it's almost funny, but it is the way it is. You know, this is a low volume.
Sounds just like my sex life right there. It's just like my sex life.
It's a low liquidity,
including
market,
the not hard part that you started with. I'm a little offended by that, but it's 2019. Go ahead. All right, keep going. I see something similar, but go ahead, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, another thing is you got to watch out for these futures gaps. I mean, they're always going to fill on the hourly, right? Every time you have one, it's going to fill. And I did a play-by-play about with this on Twitter. It was like 5 tweets over like 12 hours. It's just, I don't know. It's just, it just doesn't seem that hard to just swing trade these like this. But I want to just go real quick to the daily on Bitcoin here. Real quick for me, it's just horizontal support and resistance for me. I had this 34.90 line drawn here, and I said, okay, well, if we don't close underneath this, I'm just going to go ahead and pull along. And when we dumped down there and we sort of wicked up, and then we actually made, I think, a second low, didn't we? Yeah, we did. We made a second low. We basically did a tweezer bottom here and then bounced up and then at a higher low right after that. And then once my scalper printed, I was like, all right, this is a good long. And I just kind of dove into it. And I just held it for the futures gap as well. Because it always seems to do that. I don't know why.
And with that being said, I swear to God, when people talk about the ETFs getting approved, and you look at how just shady these gaps seem to get consistently filled over and over and over again. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's very, very shady.
Yeah, and I mean, I wish I could say that this is something that's unique to crypto, but it's not. Right here, right, you have a gap on the S&P 500 futures, continuous futures contracts. And this is after hours, right? U.S. markets closed, bearish as can be, big red volume on the 15-minute. Zero volume at all. Somehow the futures price manages to fill this massive gap that was here. Just somehow manages to do it, right? It's just, I wish it was unique to Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's a futures commodity. It's going to trade like a futures commodity. So the more that people continue to fight that and start trading it like a stock or something, they're only going to be hurting themselves. Bitcoin will inevitably just range like most commodities do, like gold. It's just going to range eventually. But real quick, just in the short term for me, for this to stay bullish, it has to come back down here. It has to test this 36.15 level here, and then it has to bounce it. If we don't confirm this resistance that was here as support, for me, if it goes up again, I'm shorting right here from 37.84 to 37.64. And I'm banking on almost a wick kind of going over this 38.08 area. But so my stop will be a little over it, like 38.20s or something. But for me, if this goes straight up from here, it's just, we're going to crash down and head straight to 31.80. And there's actually there's another gap there.
At 31.80? Yep, there it is.
Yep, right here. 31.60 on the futures. There's about a $20-$30 price discrepancy. We'll call it 31.80. There's a gap here that it doesn't have to fill, right? This can be a breakaway, right, where price is basically front loaded. It just means that like price takes off from it, never tests that liquidity, and just starts going, just starts pumping off of it. And then we just never test it. But in order for that to actually play out, we would need to basically break this 4,400 area and confirm it as support. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. I think we have some red days ahead of us.
Yeah, it seems like we're just been, and this is the other thing. We've been trading in this massive wedge, right, that I have drawn out, and there's a lot of time. So you can see this massive red wedge that I have. I mean, there's just a lot of time that is being played out in this. The other thing is something you guys should take a look at is linear is actually working really well compared to log scale. All right, go ahead. Sorry, Rocket. Keep going, brother.
No, you're good, man. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what much for is it. We're just in a squeezing market, right? It's just going to be the same thing over and over again. We're just going to go in a straight line. We're going to get wicks to the top side and the bottom side. People are going to overtrade it. It's going to look like it's going to dump. They're going to short it. Then it's going to bounce back up, and they're going to get stopped out or liquidated. And it's just going to keep going like that until Mr. 10 mil shows up and pushes price. The issue for me is when we're dumping. When we're actually in a downtrend, we get these squeezing movements because there's not a lot of volume. There's not a lot of people to actually sell Bitcoin, right? After you get liquidated on the way down from 4K, you're not thinking, oh man, I'm just going to cash out with the rest of my Bitcoin and call it a day. But when we're going up, you're thinking, oh man, this is going to go up. I'm going to put some money into this. I'm going to put some cash into Coinbase or whatever and start, loading up my Binance or loading up my BitMEX account again. So that's why when we're going up, we see this nice volatility. Right when we're ranging, we have this nice volatility. And when we're dumping, it's just flat price action followed by BART waves up and down. So, I mean, you can't really trade this. The best way to trade this is actually just to play the horizontal supports and resistances. And it's nothing like special. Like it's not some secret order flow dynamic craziness you need to read or anything. It's just as simple as, price trades at this, if price breaks this level and confirms support here, it's going to go up. If price, breaks down underneath this level, it's going to go back down. Yeah, I don't know what there is much more to say on that. I know we did have some people that are in shorts on the 7-minute based on the scalper currently right here. But and the last DCA it fired was for 37.10. So if we move down from here to the gray box, that'll be a good trade, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not sure what much more there is to say on like Bitcoin. I'm more interested in Ethereum actually leading up into the fork. I'm really curious as to how that's going to play out. I think it's going to be a good trading opportunity, personally.
Ooh, yeah. There's what we have 3 forks coming with Ethereum. So what are your thoughts on that? Especially on the price action there.
Yeah. So I think there's going to be one last push to sort of so people can kind of get in for the fork, right? I've actually been using Ethereum to sort of dictate Bitcoin's moves. I still believe that Ethereum moves the market or moves the crypto market. That hasn't changed for me. It's not going to change. I think Bitcoin is just like the crypto stablecoin. Right, it's pegged to USD. Everything trades in Bitcoin. So I just kind of use Ethereum to sort of predict the Bitcoin price movements, especially because the chart on Bitcoin is always a pain in the ass to read. But I mean, for here we have kind of a retarded flag going on Ethereum. But I've got quite a few bullish signals here. The MACD is about to cross. The MI is shifting nicely. Wave trend's going well. So I could see Ethereum coming down to this 127 level one more time, and then kind of making an uptrend up here into the big short box for me. I'm definitely loading shorts here. Fork or no fork, I'm going to short 136 on Ethereum. Absolutely. I do think that it's going to dump after the fork. I think Ethereum sees $80 again. Yeah. Personally, I think it definitely sees $80. I think that's a little high. No, I'm saying it's going to see at least $80 again.
Yeah. I think Ethereum is going to be one of those tokens projects that's got so much press on it, and it's just you can't. There's so many issues with Ethereum, and everybody's building on the Ethereum platform, and I just feel that there's too many issues with Ethereum and everything that's built on the platform. I feel it's not scalable, yada yada yada. There's lots of issues with it, and Ethereum. What was beautiful about Ethereum back in the day was everybody bought Ethereum in order to get into an ICO. So that's honestly, if you want to ask, if you want to know what the secret of Ethereum's rise to fame was, is Ethereum was used as a monetary value. Well, it was used as a fundraising token. It was no different than a GoFundMe token. I mean, in fact, that's what, Ethereum should be called. They should, you should love Ethereum for being called the GoFundMe token. Other than that, I mean, Ethereum really, all these platforms that are being built on top of Ethereum, I just think they're going nowhere. I mean, I really think they're going nowhere, and I would feel a lot more comfortable with new platforms that are coming out, that are, kind of retrograding and fixing the issues that Ethereum has, and doing their own platform, doing their own thing rather than, I just think Ethereum it's not gonna. I just don't think Ethereum's gonna keep being viable here in the near term. And I'm gonna say by the end of the year, we're gonna see some ugly Ethereum prices.
Oh, I bought Ethereum at $55, and I guarantee you it sees that price again by June.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I like Tron way more than I like Ethereum. Right? I like Tron for multiple reasons. I like their marketing team. I like their promotions team. I think that's one thing Justin Sun has got figured out. That guy's got it figured out when it comes to marketing and promotions. I'll tell you what, nobody does it better than Justin Sun. That guy is out there hustling every day, right? I mean, every day, every time he tweets, they should have the theme song should be "Every Day I'm Hustling." That should be his theme
Yeah, I mean,
song.
the day that his Twitter account gets flagged and suspended for a week or whatever, I'm just gonna short it as hard as I can.
Exactly.
No, but now that since you mentioned TRX in terms of like fundamentals, like look, the only thing that I care about in terms of like blockchain, Bitcoin, you name it, the only real use I see is as a transaction medium. And so when you're looking at something like Bitcoin and it handles 7 transactions a second, that's weak, man. That's like nothing. Visa handles like a couple 100,000 a second. Yeah. But Tron, Ripple, what are the couple other ones? Nano. Yeah, Tron, Ripple, and Nano all handle like over 100,000 transactions per second or something like that. So if you were talking about using cryptocurrency as currency, I mean, it's called cryptocurrency for a reason. It's you have to sort of look at it in that aspect. Like, okay, is there a real use case for Bitcoin being used, to buy coffee or to buy groceries? Probably not, right? The network can't handle it. The network is probably decades to an eternity away from being able to handle that kind of transaction load. But these other coins like Ripple, TRX, Nano especially, they can handle that kind of load on them, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying like Bitcoin is more of a commodity piece for me, and so I trade it the same way that I'm trading, like wheat futures or soybean futures, something like that. I trade it in the same manner, really. Mm-hmm. Whereas on these other coins, it's more like on Binance, I'm just shoving spare money into Nano whenever it dumps, because why not?
Well, the thing with when you look at Bitcoin, though, Bitcoin is based on scarcity, right? So you have a solid platform that can't get hacked, right? You can't 51% it, right? You can't. That's the great thing about Bitcoin, is that it just has that scarcity factor. And it is, it was designed really just to be an asset. And I mean, that's really all it is. It's just a store of value. The only problem is, the value is what you give it, I give it, Datalord gives it, Vasa gives it, Jigs gives it, Until gives it, Adrian gives it, Atem gives it. It's what we give it. We give it that value, right? And in order to maintain that value, all of us, and everybody watching the show, everybody out there in crypto land, you guys have to agree to what that value is, and you do it every single day. Now, the issue is that I have with Bitcoin is it might as well be a monopoly in Bitcoin, because there's so few people that own so many of them. Now that also goes for Tron. That goes for Tron also. Who knows the bags that Justin's holding on? And one of the things you brought up is, you brought up how you like Ethereum, how Ethereum runs and kind of leads the market. For me, I like Ethereum and or Litecoin to lead the market for me. Both of those. Now, Litecoin of all of them, I think, which is the funny part of all the tokens that are the majors out there, I think honestly, Litecoin is the most useless token that's out there. That is like,
yeah, I agree with you 100%. Litecoin could disappear and I
Litecoin
wouldn't care anymore.
The fuck does
Same thing
Litecoin
with
do?
Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV. They're all just garbage. It's honestly all just garbage. I mean,
Yeah.
95% of Binance is garbage. If people want Bitcoin to go to $20,000 again, just tell Binance to delist 95% of their projects. And Bitcoin goes up instantly.
Yeah, and I shot this out on my Twitter the other day. I said, just somebody, for the love of crypto, just one project out there, one single project, somebody, file your taxes, show a P&L, right? Show me how much money, how much Ethereum you have left. Show me how much money you have left in the bank account, right? No one has done it. No one will do it, right? Nobody. So that just to me is just such shady business, right? There's just no one. I don't know one project out there that's come out and said, hey, this is exactly how much money we have left. These are what our operating expenses are every single month. This is how much capital we have left. This is how
just
much
a balance sheet.
A P&L, a simple balance sheet. Nobody will come out with it because they're all draining the piggy bank to zero and they don't care. Truck, what does it mean you can't 51%? So what that means is you cannot attack a token. If you have control of 51% of the chain, you can attack the token just like we had. What was just attacked? Was it EOS? ETC?
No, it was Ethereum Classic, another shitcoin.
Ethereum Classic. So ETC was just attacked, had a 51% attack on it. What they did is they went in, they actually duplicated. How much was it? It was a couple 100,000 or 500,000 or something. It was like 500. It was ETC. Yeah, I think they double printed or copied whatever, like $500,000 worth of it. And then they sold it off, and then so that they copied a chain. So yeah, they did return it. They returned it, but you don't want to get into these tokens, and I feel it's going to happen a lot to a lot of tokens that are coming up. But okay, so show us what you got on Ethereum there. So you're thinking Ethereum's going to run up to 136. That's good. That's where my stop loss is. I am in a short.
Yeah, 136.30 is going to be the top side for me on this one. I'm going to short it sooner than that. I'm just going to short right inside the red box here. And look, if it runs up past, I don't care. I'm just going to keep adding to the shorts. I'm going to be going in this, low leverage for a swing position.
Yeah.
I'll probably throw a couple Bitcoin at it and just sort of wait. At this point, it's just going to be a waiting game because for me, Bitcoin's going to go down inevitably, even if it does tap here and goes up. This is just like Bitcoin's just going to be one massive support resistance flip. That's all this is going to be. With support here, and then we blew through it. It's going to come back. It's just going to confirm this area as resistance. 3770, 3780. Once this is confirmed as resistance, we're looking at $600 of downside. It'll probably take a week, is my guess. It should be right in time for the weekend, though, for sure.
Yeah, let me show you a couple of charts that I have that kind of give an idea of where that support and resistance is. Let me show you. So here's my bubble chart on the MACD, so you can see that we did swing around hardcore. We hit the purple bounce line, so purples are bounces. You see our purple bounces back here. We have there's our last time we bounced right off this area, just absolutely perfect. Bounced right off it. So this is a purple bounce zone. Now this is coming back up. When you do hit this indicator, if you do come up and hit this indicator, one of the issues is when you do touch the indicator with your MACD line, you can get a small pump. So you'll get a small pump. Now, even in a low volume situation like we are trading in now, where you have lots of low volume, your issue is you do get this really crappy pump But let me also show you one thing. So last time we came down, right, which is right in here. This is where we tapped out last time, right? There it is. You see that is right here. This is exactly where it happened. All this did, this was a continuation to the downside. Now, if you look and you compare it to this run where we came down all the way like this, right? There's that same run right there. So there's that big long run down. Now this to me looks like this could be more of this run up here. And let me be very specific of what this run up here is. This run up here is this entire move down. So you have this entire move down. While the MACD was going up, you have this entire move back to the downside here. And this would have been your up. So here would have been your up, right, with this, which was just really basically a sideways, right? It was just a sideways movement. And then I am still looking for more downside here. I'm looking for limited pumps to get back up and then more downside. Now, remember, these pumps can be wicked as you play these out. These things can run, and they're just basically, just like Rocket's saying, they're just stop-loss hunts. It's the liquidity hunts, their stop-loss, their support and resistance runs, and that's all this is doing. But I feel you all need to be aware that you have bounced off the bottom. You've had a hell of a run all the way back down. And you've had a nice run all the way back down. But all that was sideways movement. So just really tough to play this out here, right? Really tough to play this right here because it's a situation to where there's just we've gone right back into a no volume area, right? So let's pull this up. We're going to run this out, right? And our volume has already started to fade off. Look at our volume steadily. This is a 3-day. Pull up a daily. Look at the volume just teetering down, dying off slowly or quickly, however you want to look at this. But our volume is just teetering down and down and down and down. We're losing the momentum that we had, especially on this $1,000 run. We had this beautiful $1,000 pump run right all the way back up, just wiped out all those shorts. Everybody and their mother was in shorts running down this thing. Beautiful turnaround. Remember, we had the long scalper called along on this, and now we've just gone into a cyclical sideways pattern. Really, everything in here is just a horizontal movement as we're just kind of going sideways with the volume dropping. This is still bearish though. So the way I look at this is the volume is dropping and the price action is right? The price action is still going up. I would like to see the opposite. I would like to see the volume climbing and this price action climbing. I don't see that. All right, let's see what, Until, you alive? Is he alive? I think he's pregnant. He's in the bathroom. Somebody hold his hair. Rocket. Rocket? Did I lose everybody? Hello? Yeah, I think I lost everyone. I think I lost Rocket. No, Rocket, I see you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Rocket. I can't hear him. Hold on a second. Oh, we did lose Until. We lost Until. We can't hear you on... Huh. Well, that's weird. Hold on a second. Let me try to join again. Check. All right, there you go. You guys are back. I got you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. All right, you guys are back. Sorry, my computer.
Oh, wait. I have the sound from the stream going on, so...
Yeah.
I'm going to try to be brief. And I'm sorry for the voice cracks, but I'm going to try. Look, for Monday, we knew that the volume was going to pick up. We posted it. So this bump is which is nothing more than a relief bump, is no surprise. We even discussed it. I know I discussed it with Rocket, and I think yesterday, Vamp, when we were talking about the channel, and then in the end, I asked you what you thought about the market. We came to the same conclusion that this had an upside before an actual big downside. However, so in terms of targets, and that's why everyone is here, I'm aiming at 740, 750 for shorts. I'll put them there if Mr. 10 mil shows up in the market again on the buy side. I won't put my shorts in there. I'll just put it up on the next resistance, which is at Rocket. Can you just zoom in on the chart so I can see it?
Oh yeah, hey man, hang on.
I think it's around. It's gonna be around 3780, 38.
Yeah, 3770 is where I had 3773, 30 all the way up to 3800 I have resistance.
Oh, okay. Then instead of putting it 740, 750, just scale it all the way to 770. Now, there's one thing that I was checking on your chart, Rocket, not Rocket Vamp, which was the 12-hour, and it seems to me like a 12-hour flag may be in the works, a bull flag. So if you can go on your 12-hour and just kind of space it out.
Yeah, to me,
James,
this is...
just space it out. No, but from the B, okay, you had your Elliott waves in there, from the B, and then you kind of have a parallel channel showing up. Okay, you have the first top, which is at 4.2, and then you have the second top, which is at 4.040, so it's declining. The supports are, the resistances are coming down, but in a parallel mode with the supports. The first one is at 3.6, and then at 3.4. No, it's not weed, I don't do drugs, I'm just sick.
He's pregnant.
I'm just sick.
He's got his sexy voice on. It's a sexy rock star, sexy soul singer voice.
Yeah, soul singer voice. But yeah, that's the only thing. Now, I've said this before and I'll keep saying it. Any pump is a relief pump, okay? I'll be very surprised if we go to 4K. And I don't think we're actually going to go into 4K. The max I see is going is 3850, probably putting shorts at until 3770, okay? And then it's down again. I don't think the bottom is in yet.
Yep, I agree.
Okay. Now, if you can go just on my Twitter,
James.
I'm reading the comments. If you can just go on my Twitter.
All right, let me pull up on
chart
Twitter. I got it.
I posted earlier. There's one thing that I also like. Yeah, I need some sleep. It's 4:30 a.m. here.
Which one? This one?
No. Yeah, the first one. Okay, click on that chart. Above. Yeah, that one. It's not a chart. It just has the volume and the closing price over time. Yeah. So as you can see in the last 2 months, the volume, even though it doesn't feel that way, trading it daily, the volume has been actually picking up. Okay, so this is good. This shows that we're starting to have some interest in this 3K area. Okay, so now for me it's simple. Shorts at 3770 or close to 380 if you want to play it safe. Then hold them, and then you'll be taking profits on a test of the new bottom, on a test of the last bottom at 3.2, 3.1, and then we'll see how we play when we get there. Okay. That's about it. Jen Baswalhoff, I'm not interested on a scalp for the following reason. There's too many longs open for me. Okay.
Yes, yeah. There's definitely way too many longs open. So I did a chart yesterday. Everybody get a chance to see that? I don't know if I explained that chart very well, but I did it. I actually did a video on it. Where is it at? Come here.
I mean, for me, with the like a long scalp, like the only way I'm gonna actually take a long on this now is if we go to 36.15 and bounce it, because then I'll just long it and I'll put a stop just under 3.6, and if it happens to go up to that 70 or that 40 to 70 area, I'll short there. Honestly, like I might actually hold like the shorts from the 37.80, 37.60, whatever area. That area just shy of 3,800. I actually might be holding those shorts for a long time. I mean, even for sub 3K levels, I might just enter in a big swing position and hold it for a couple of weeks. If this does anything like it did in 2014, which it will because this is a manipulated commodities futures market, the bottom isn't in yet, like Until said. There's no way it's in. I'm looking personally at like the 24 to 2800 area. We'll go there probably for a week or two, and then that'll be it for me. That's where I'm going to load up and probably, well, we should enter sideways accumulation for a few months at that point. But this is nothing other than being a 6K again. You know, our move up to 4,300 or whatever, that was the July move to 8,500, right? And then this move here to 4,100, this was our 7.5K move before we dumped $1,000 again, right? This is all just the same thing. It's just a squeezing market, increasing resistances on supports, and it's eventually going to give out.
Yep, and we keep making lower lows.
Yeah, over and over again.
Yeah, so we just put in another lower low too on the with this last drop down.
There's just no bullish news that can push this up, and there's really no one. And I'm just speaking of retail traders interested in coming in, or coming in for the first time. So this market has been working like this forever, which is it goes sideways, it dumps to the next support or pumps to the next resistance. Which you can just check by checking the past ones, just put some fibs on the chart and use the VPVR to check for volume. And once it gets there, you just long or short it and play the channels that it shows from there. And that's about it. This has been the market for the last 3 or 4 months. We need actual bullish news to say, okay, the bottom was in. And so far, we're still, I think we're a bit far from it. Okay, I still think we're gonna see like 2.8, at least that we should see. But let's wait for it to get to 3.2, and then we'll see how we play it. Because if too many people are shorting it at 3.2, then we'll just go long. Okay, the key is to go against what the major the major part of the market is doing. Yeah. If everyone is long, you should go short.
It's basically
there's a reason why the majority is not making money.
Liquidity.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's liquidity.
Yeah.
If you just try to play like you're making the market, it gets harder to lose. If you just act like you're the one making this, just think, how can I fuck over the most amount of people at one time? Yeah. That's part of the reason I longed 3508. That's because I was just scrolling up through Twitter and I started seeing all these big names posting
short
3,300. They were posting stupid ranges too. Really, they were giving like $150 ranges. Like, yeah, I'm expecting support at, 32.30 to 33.50. Like, what? Like, how are you going to call $150 ranges support down here? Yeah. But regardless, I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to long this now. Because it's just the market psychology side. Let's dump it twice and let's dump it a third time. And then people who got fucked on the third dump are going to be like, all right, I'm done. I'm just going to short this. It's going down. And then they get liquidated on the pump right after. It's just nothing different. But this is the VPVR block that Until1mil was talking about right in here, inside these 2 red lines on my chart here. It's going to be like, it's going to be 2870 to 2550 basically for me. We're going to come in here. We'll be down here for a week or two, and then it's just going to be sideways accumulation probably until the later half of this coming year. And I mean, it's fine. I mean, anyone who's looking at this and not thinking, wow, this is great opportunity, after what we had over here, it's just, it's crazy. Like, why would you not take advantage of this over here? If you could have this again before this, why wouldn't you? Even if it's not going to be as big, right? Even if, let's say we only go to 9,600 right here. I mean, if we go to, the 2K levels and then we go up to 9,600, that's a bull run. You're talking about going 4x on your money and, arguably probably a year. So everyone should be looking at this move here as opportunity. It's about it. But yeah, for me, and even if I turn on the weekly and go to the rocket scalper here.
Uh-oh.
We lost him?
Yep, we lost him. Hold on a second.
No, I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. I still have push to talk on, so it's kind of annoying. But yeah, I mean, this is just no different to me. You see this consolidation right here, and then we dumped out of it, and then you see this move with this big wick up. That was our 4K move right here. This wick, Now I'm just getting ready for the free fall, for the accelerated free fall into the 2K levels. That's why I said I'm probably going to end up holding these 3370 shorts. Um, if I can get them, I'm probably going to hang on to them for an extended period of time. I'll see what the gap fill is like down at 3180. But if there's no strong reaction out of that, I'll just short again any bounce from there. I'll just add to my short position, and I'll just be waiting for this down here. And I'll be in this for probably a month, maybe more. It'll be a really long position on a separate account, but I mean, it's just too coincidental. It's just the same thing over and over again.
So, here's my issue. Here's my issue with that, okay? So, number one is I think listen, I like per the Gauss trend line, it's 2350, right? So 2350 is what the Gauss trend line says. 22 could even get down to 20. It might be 2200. It's all time based though. So the longer that we hang around and dick around up here in this area and move sideways, the lower I think our trajectory can be for the price action. So I think if we, let's say for instance, just hypothetically speaking, if you guys looked at my chart that I had out the other day, let me bring that back over here. So I kind of did this. Right, let's bring this over here. So this is kind of my plan chart right here, right? I still think this holds true. So this plan over here, I still think this is the way that this is going to play out, right? There's that channel. So I expected us to back test that channel, right? Look for a back test of the channel, right? And we definitely back tested it and broke it. So I'm going to pull that off there, right? But I still think that, right? I still feel that if we get a test just a little bit lower, just like you were talking about, Rocket, where you're saying, you go down to that 3100 range where you hit that gap. If we bounce and get any kind of even a 200 point bounce out of there, I feel, now remember, you're going to test the 200 MA down there. You're also going to test the 50 MA. So you've got a lot of super heavy support right down there that you've got to run through. And we've never historically run through that 50 MA on the monthly. So that's also going to be an issue. We're going to have to get through that 50 MA on the monthly. So to get down and run through that, my issue is I feel if we get down there and get a bounce off there, if we get a bounce off the 200, I think we're going to get a lot of people FOMOing into this, calling this an Adam and Eve a bounce, and they're just going to go crazy. They're going to lose their damn minds, and then we're going to get a pump out. We're going to get a nice pump, right? And even right here, I think you can make a legitimate case still that you still have the inverted head and shoulders in play. So I think we also have to keep in mind that with these two double taps down here, people can still be, well, there's still that inverted head and shoulders pattern that's playing out here, and that could be a possibility that plays out. Remember, the market mentality is you've still got that FOMO crowd out there, the people that are going to FOMO into this as the market plays out. And there's still a lot of people out there that don't want to see this touch the 2K. And that includes the exchanges. To remember, the exchanges, guys, do not want to touch the $2,000 range, right? The exchanges don't want to hit the $2,000 range, right? You got to remember, you've got people down there sitting there with massive bags that, 80% of the bags were purchased between $850 and $1,150. To go into that $2,000 range, there's a lot of people with some pretty big bags out there that really have to start making their mind up. All right, you hit that 2,400 range like Rocket says. If there's any velocity or any volume to that and you hit that 2,400 range, which I personally think if you hit 2,400, that is if that's the issue is, I think you could get that capitulation event if you did make it down to 2,600 range, like Rocket's talking about, 2,400 range. You have that capitulation event, and at that point what you do is you get this long ass ugly wick down to call it 1,700 call it, 2200, 1900, whatever it is, you get some kind of long, deep wick, you get that V bottom, then you're going to be looking for that really nice bottom. But I tell you what, that wick is only going to last 12 hours. And I'm gonna have to write that down somewhere, because I think there's going to be some massive capitulation wick that's only going to last like 12 hours. It's going to be 1,000-point dump, and everybody's going to lose their freaking minds, and then it's going to bounce up really high, and then, regardless if that's the bottom or not, it'll just be a super amazing play for us swing traders to swing trade out of that thing, and to really try to catch the bottom and ladder into that thing as it plummets down. Right? It'll be dangerous as hell. It'll be scary as hell. But trying to ladder into that baby will be an exciting day, just like February, just exactly like we had back in February of 2018 when we just fell out of the sky and there was that beautiful V bottom. I still think we're going to put in a V bottom. I don't think we're going to put in a sloping U-shaped bottom. I would like to see a V bottom, then a bounce, then a retest. Then you're going to get then you'll get your sloping bottom like Rocket shows on his chart. It's just going to be a prolonged bottom that's going to pull us all the way out till probably, the end of who knows when, 2020 into 2021 maybe, God forbid. But it'll still be sloping. It'll be a bullish run like Rocket says. My challenge with 2018 right now is, depending on how low we drop, let's say we do drop to 2,400 like Rocket's showing, right? And we start scooping up. You need to retest the bottom a second time and or get close to it the same as you did in 2014. Bottoms always like to be tested again, right? So you're going to get at least close to testing that bottom a second time. And with that being said, the challenge with that is you could go all of 2018 and we could never get back to 6,000 all the way to the end of 2019. We could run all the way to the end of 2019 and we would never hit 6K. Yeah, exactly. Like that guy who shorted the top. Yeah, that guy was a freaking genius. Beautiful job by him. Right? But
who, Big Dog?
Yeah, is that who it was? Yeah, that guy was a beast.
Yeah, and then he goes and gets his trading view hacked.
No way, he did?
Yeah, did you not see his most recent thing? Hang on, I'll pull it.
No, I did. That's
oh my god, I gotta have it saved somewhere. Jesus,
that's too funny. So here's the thing: I still think that people can make the claim here that you have still the inverted head and shoulders. So we got to watch that. Right, but I need to see 3,900 4K broken before I start to run to the bullish scenario up here to the 4,400 range and then down, right? And like for me, I want to see this down and then up, and not up and then down. So if we go up here and then we crash back down, it'll be a worse situation. All right, let's see what he got. Let's see what he says.
Yeah, I pulled it up.
So what does it say? Go ahead.
This is Big Dog's original chart from January 14th. We were at 13,500, and he's like, yeah, that's it. We're never going to go over 14,000 again. He's just like, just short it. He goes and gets his thing hacked. Right? He's only got two posts, January 17th of 2000 or January 14th, 2018. And then October 19th, 2008. It's this manipulated dump round too. He puts the caption on the right. He's basically saying, the whale's chosen coin is Chainlink, and when the accumulation ends, Chainlink will pump and Bitcoin will be abandoned. That's what he says on October 31st. And it's just funny because coincidentally we dumped on, let's see. Well, he said this on October 31st, so. Right there on the chart.
God, that's hilarious.
Right. So he says, oh, yeah, Bitcoin's going to be abandoned. Everyone's going to go to Chainlink. right? It gets. By the way, this is still the best looking chart in crypto. I told all of our members we all got in on this. I got in at 78.60, I think. Then I got back in at 9,400, and this thing is just, I mean, the irony, right? You can't help but just almost like laugh. Let's go October 31st. All right, right here. I mean, you could say that it was already pumping at that time, but it's literally just a massive cup and handle, right? It's perfect. It's the best looking chart in the entire. I mean, I only own it just because I played this handle. That's it. I'm probably going to sell this eventually, but I don't know where now. I don't know where because every time I look at it, it's up like 10%.
Jesus Lord.
I know it's insane, man. It's absolutely insane. Like I still have the chart from I'll post it. I'll send it to you in Discord. But yeah, it's just funny, right? This guy just comes on 2 posts in his whole history, basically calls the top on Bitcoin, short of a goddamn lifetime. It dumps, and then he comes in, pops back in, 10 months later, and says, yeah, we're just gonna go to Chainlink. Bitcoin's gonna be abandoned. And he says this at 6,600.
Yeah.
When we were at 6,600.
Hilarious.
Why can't I pull up his second chart? Here it is. I mean, he literally plays this out. October 19th, coming soon. Then October 31st, he says, yeah, this is it. Look for a huge pump in Chainlink. Bitcoin's going to be abandoned. And then he says, Chainlink pump's been concluded on November 14th.
And then it died.
Let's see, November 14th. I think Bitcoin had already been dumping at that point. Dumped. November 14th was the day Bitcoin started dumping. So he didn't really call that one. But it just makes you wonder, is he just totally full of shit? Like, did this thing get hacked, or is it just like an entirely coincidence now? I don't know. You just have to wonder. And then the fact that Link is just continuing to pump. I don't think Biz has enough money to move that on their own. So somebody's buying it. Somebody's buying Link because this is just ridiculous.
What the hell? Anybody know what the hell Link? I don't even know what Link has got.
I don't even know what it does, but this weekly chart is just amazing. I mean, it's perfect. Rising supports up the cup, increasing volume after a bottom here, then a nice little handle.
Yeah, that's a wow. What a great cup and handle.
Like, we throw some fibs on it right there, right at the 0.5 fib, get a little doji here, and then it just takes off. It's insane. Best chart in crypto by far.
It links. Tyler says it links different cryptos together.
I honestly have zero idea what Chainlink does. I have no idea. I'm just playing the chart.
It looks good. That's what it does. It's like a hot model. She does 2 things, and we can't figure out what the other thing is. Yep. All right. Anything else, gentlemen?
No, that's it for me. Just look for. It looks like Ethereum's going to try and push on this and then take off. So I just look for those shorts here. I'm not going to long it, but I'm going to short.
All right. Well, great. Good. All right, everybody. Does anybody have any other questions? Anybody have any questions out there for our 2 fine gentlemen we have here? We have Batman over there with his sexy Batman voice.
Nice.
So anyway, Tyler went on there. He's like, oh, dude, you're getting popular. You got Batman on the show now. Yeah, dude, my daughter is hilarious. My daughter's got jokes. Can you give? Yeah, let's do Ethereum. Let me go over and take a look at Ethereum. And if I can find my damn chart, where the hell my charts go? All right, there it is. All right, so let's take a look at Ethereum here. Okay, so one of the things we saw is, let's go over and, come on. This was our 12-hour. So we called this yesterday. So if you went and looked at our Ethereum chart yesterday, there we go. So if you guys went and took a look at our Ethereum chart yesterday, right? We said, hey, this is a perfect support bounce off the 30. Look at that. And this was absolutely a perfect bounce right off the 30. It loves to bounce off this 30 support line. This 30 support line likes to work as support and resistance. And you see how it chugged right along there. Bounced absolutely gorgeously off there. That's super sexy. Now, the one thing I can say that I see a lot right now, and I don't see, I looked at this more as a double top, but as I'm looking at this, right, I'm going to go back to say, this is looking head and shoulders-ish. Right, and I see this pattern playing out a lot. Look, and I called this on, I called the head and shoulders here on Ethereum, on Litecoin, right? I just have to adjust it, right? Sloping head and shoulders, right? I called this head, I called the head and shoulders. You guys know I called the head and shoulders. Look at, there's the RSI bouncing off perfectly, making a beautiful RSI head and shoulders on the daily. Right, and where can this go? Where can this lead us to if this does get a nice run up here on Litecoin? How high could this run up? I'm not quite sure. We're just gonna march this up here, something like that. Right, so now you do have this bearish cross, but it's about to pierce this bearish cross on the daily. It's just not letting this look. The cross hasn't happened, so the bulls have the momentum right now to run through this on Litecoin, right? But this sure looks like a head and shoulders, right? Now on Litecoin, one of the things I said is, why haven't we hit the top of this channel up here also? So I still don't know why we haven't hit the top of this channel on Litecoin, but this looks like a head and shoulders to me. Looks like we're making a shoulder, right? That sure as hell looks like we're making a shoulder over here on Ethereum. Sure looks like we're not really making a head and shoulders pattern on this on the RSI, unless we're going to do something like this, like a sloping head and shoulders pattern like this right here, and this will probably going to come up just a little bit more like that, right? So there will be your sloping head and shoulders pattern on Ethereum with the RSI as that moves down like this. So you'd be looking for one more hump up, right, just like that. And where would you go find that hump? You'd come over here to the left side. You'd want to find some of your horizontal support and resistance. And I would just, right on this blue line, it's kind of a beaut. And I would go as high as that right there. We're going to make this smaller. Let's pull that down. And there we go. So if this does play out as a head and shoulders, there would be your sloping head and shoulders back to the ground. Run that back into the dirt right there. I did only expect a small retrace on this. Got a hell of a retrace up out of this. I'm still sitting in a short on Ethereum from 150-ish up here, like 152-ish. I actually called the very, very tippy-toppity of the short. I played that out. I did take profit on that when we moved sideways. I then opened my short right back up. So we came here. I called the short perfect, dropped down, took profit, reopened up the short right here in the consolidation zone. And you guys see my short I posted the other day. It was at 152, I believe. I did post that. So that is up there. Now you could run you got 136 up here to here. You hit your 50 MA. There's 136 for your 50 MA, and there's 139 for your 30. So you do have a lot of, let's see what else we got on our daily. Nothing. You break over that. You got a nice running room. Your 2-day is going to be 135, 136. Your 3-day, 136.50. So yeah, that's Rocket is right on right there, saying that area of resistance, you got a lot of resistance. It's all going to be stacked right up there in the 136 range. That would actually give you a really beautiful, right, kind of a head and shoulders thing right here, where you get that big head and shoulders play. Now I still think this also kind of looks double topish to me, so I'm gonna leave that double topish call right there also on that. Right, Rocket's got let's see what Rocket posted up here.
Yeah, I tagged you in it on Twitter as well, because it was too much to put into Discord. But yeah, it was 7,800.
Oh
On
yeah.
Link. It's
Wow.
up 120% now.
Nice.
It's up insane from where I first bought it. It's craziness.
Killing it. All right, and what else? Shorts are super high right now on Ethereum. You know, there are shorts that do need to get liquidated out of Ethereum. Raven, listen, if you're playing Raven and you hit this giant dildo wick right here, if anybody was in a stop loss on Raven, you just got absolutely just, you got, fuck, what's the guy's name? The freaking Mex guy's name? God damn it! What's the Mex? What's the guy in Mex? You got what's the guy who runs Mex? BitMEX.
Arthur Hayes, man.
Arthur Hayes. You got Arthur. You got hazed. You guys got hazed, right? You got hazed by Arthur. So look at that wick on. Somebody had fat fingers, and holy sheest ran that wick up like crazy. SV. Listen, SV was great so far. I said, listen, I'm looking for an E failure wave here. Then I retested the lower wedge, came up, dropped back down, didn't quite hit the wedge, the lower end of the wedge right here, but we did get the bounce off the wedge. I still am looking for a retest of this. This is still just bouncing sideways. This continues to look like an E failure wave to me. I'm still looking at this as an E failure wave. Not going to change anything on this. Still going to say this is going to die. TRX has got 7 hours left, making a pretty ugly wick on the 12-hour. You've got a really ugly wick forming on the 12-hour over here. Listen, this wick, this is a very ugly wick. I seriously think that TRX is running out of steam. I really think that TRX is running out of steam here. I'm not going to play it. I have had my ass burned so many times on freaking TRX. I am not going to play TRX here. But I do think that TRX is running out of steam right here and should drop. I think it's going to start to pull back down. I believe they have their thing coming up, and it's on the 19th or something like that, right? XRP. XRP still has a massive gap in it over here. I still think it'll come down and find this gap. You've got a big Darth Maul candle you're posting up. XRP, just some crazy sideways movement. You know, the XRP fanatics that are out there, just, you know, you guys got to get on that, got to get out on there and start farming up some new people to liquidate, because it's just not happening. You guys are just not, you're not making it happen. EOS, I would have to say that EOS is probably the largest disappointment in all of 2018 and going into 2019. I'm pretty sure anybody who is holding on or has a strong belief in EOS, you guys are all going to eat a bunch of ass this year. EOS is just not having a very good year ever since it launched. People, you know, the whole Coinbase launch pump thing, I think it's gone. I think people now realize that getting on Coinbase might actually be negative to your coin's existence, right? I think it's not a good thing to get put on Coinbase anymore. If they came to me and said, hey, we want to launch your token on Coinbase, I'd be like, yeah, how about no? How about no? I would probably say no to it. BTC, you know, like I said, just a lot of you know, I feel that with BTC as we move along here, right? I just feel that I see weakness. Even a pump, even running this thing up, even running this baby right back up here, I feel that we're just going to see the same thing, right? I think that just running BTC back up right now is not really going to help us out anymore in the long run. I still see we're going down. I'm telling you guys, there's people calling the bottom. Please, please do not believe them, okay? Do not believe them that the bottom is in. The bottom is not in yet for crypto. We will all know when it's in, and you're not going to miss out. Listen, you're not going to miss out on a bottom, okay? So people shouldn't be super FOMOing into anything. Listen, here's my take. I just want to do a really quick thing on the U.S. economy. I'd love to have Rocket chime in on this also. since he is one of us over here. He's American. Beautiful bounce off. We're holding the levels. I've continued to say that the United States is, the economy in the U.S. is absolutely
Shorted.
strong. I think the U.S. economy is strong. I think the world economy is shit. So I think the rest of the world's economy is in deep, deep trouble. A bunch of indicators came out on China today. China came out and had a bunch of things where they were saying, oh, yeah, look at, a bunch of our exports are going through. Man, I'm short the world, right? I'm short the world, long America. Okay, I would just like to say that. I still think that that's where I think America is, our economy is going to be the strongest in the world while the rest of the world drops. Now, let me tell you what. Here's the difference. I'm gonna put this as politically correct as I can. If you were to flush a toilet full of turds, okay, the rest of the world is gonna go get flushed down the drain. They're gonna clog the drain up. America is gonna be that giant turd that's sitting on the top that's stinking up the rest of the room. Right? That's it. There's going to be no water in the bowl. It's just going to be one giant turd, and the rest of the little turds trapped in the turd hole are going to be the rest of the world. Okay? Does that mean that our economy is going to be booming? No, it just that means that we're going to be the turd on the top, okay? We're going to be the top turd. That's all it's going to mean. Now, will our markets drop? Will everything else? Listen, when the world falls down, everybody falls down with it, all right? But the issue is the US dollar is going to remain the strongest currency out there. And yes, people are turning to gold right now, and as you see, the gold prices are just still going through the roof, right? We got gold going through the roof, but let's take a look and see. Look, Rocket's already got some beautiful charts up. Rocket, give us your take.
If you want to turn it over
buddy.
to me,
Yep.
I can cover that.
Go for it.
All right, so I'm going to start with the U.S. equities market. Big rising wedge here on the S&P 500 index. It's been bashing this resistance quite a bit. The volume's falling off. A big futures gap at 260 closed just today. Actually, when in the Asia session open, there was a futures gap in the CME continuous future swaps market. That closed, so I'm expecting downside leading into. Honestly, I'm looking for this if this thing doesn't bounce, 2320s. Hello bear market for U.S. equities. I actually have I have a chart saved here somewhere. There it is. I don't know who's from the channel that's in here right now, but I've posted this in the stock market section of the channel like for months. Oh man, yeah, this is my shitty Elliott wave. I don't do Elliott waves. Just emphasizing the point. It did hit this volume block perfectly. I actually didn't even just draw this out. I'm not no bullshit. I have had this drawn for a long time. But now looking at it again for the first time in 8. This 2250. This is going to be resistance here for me. But a big thing for me, U.S. equities market. Just real quick, guys. The balance sheets of all your Fortune 500 companies, whatever, they all look like shit because they've been lending from the U.S. government for the purposes of stock buybacks, right? So this is the equivalent of Tether, right? Stock buybacks are like printing Tether, right? It's magical Tether fairies for the U.S. equities market. That's all it is. It's just printing big money. Right? So the corporations borrow the money, they use it to buy back stock markets, which pushes their price higher because it's like doing a coin burn. If there's less supply and your market share is the same, it's just going to force individual price shares up. That's all it's going to do. So that's why you have this kind of a run here. Now that Powell's in office, head of the Fed Treasury Department, he's just going crazy with the rate hikes, and they should be raised. And people are like, oh, no, you can't raise rates because it's going to crash the equities market. I mean, no shit. Of course it's going to, right? It has to happen, and it's going to happen. Without these buybacks caused by corporate lending, there's nothing to sort of support this whole market structure here. This whole market from right here, whole market structure from right here up, is invalidated for me. So I'm looking honestly at sub here. Now this is what I'm looking at on the Dow for the weekly. People can be salty about this all they want. I don't care. That's just what I see. And then let's go to the Dow.
So really quick, Rocket, on that. So a reason why we've had such a massive run up, another good reason why we've had such a massive run up, because of the massive amount of money that's been repatriated back into the economy, back into the U.S. economy from overseas. So with the new Trump tax rules, companies were able to bring money back in at a very reduced rate, which now I believe is in law, so they can continue to do that. So you're seeing a lot of companies do their own stock buybacks, and a lot of people were just taking their money and just buying back their own stock. You there? I lost you.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I just had to clear my throat. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It's seriously no different than printing Tether on your way up to 20K. It's the exact same thing. Another thing you have to sort of deal with is housing prices, inflation of housing in the United States. Not even in the United States, we have it easy, and our housing went up. Our housing went up 330% since 2008.
There's a chart for that, right? They have it's the housing. There's a housing index chart for that.
Oh boy, what's the ticker? I got to look at this.
I got it.
But I'm just saying, I mean, it's bad here in the United States, but it's 4 or 5 times worse overseas in Europe. Inflation's just out of control everywhere in Europe.
It's called the
in my opinion, the euro is going to fail.
Select.
So.
It's called the Home Build. It's called the S&P Home Builders Select Industry, and the SPSIHO.
I can't wait to chart this.
I already did.
This is amazingly bearish. I love this.
Does it look like Bitcoin at 20K?
No, it looks like Bitcoin
it's
right
worse.
now.
It's worse. It is. Yeah, it just bounced. It bounced.
It looks like Bitcoin right now.
Put the monthly on that.
So if you guys go back, if you look at this chart right here, so if you take a look at mine, so here's my chart. I don't know why I have freaking Bitcoin. I must have been doing something on my phone. But there's actually two housing industry. There's actually two of these. I'll go back and find what the other one is. But there's actually two of them. And what the issue? Here's the thing. This was my bounce zone down here when we were way up here at the 618. We came down, bounced up to 786, bounced through it, and now we've actually bounced back up. So let me tell you a little bit what's going on in the housing market here in the U.S. Brand new report just came out that says that you're gonna love this, guys. We're in a housing downturn. Right?
Yeah, I saw the report. It was like last week or something, right? They said that buying was at the lowest level since like 2009 or something.
God, and here's the funny part. They said we're a year into it. What freaking moron couldn't look at this goddamn chart back in January 2018 and saying, no shit, Sherlock. A great time to come out with a report that says we're a year into the 3-year downturn. So what we're expecting here in America is 3 years of downturn in the housing market. And it means because that, honestly, people, here's the thing. Our housing market, never recovered here in America, right? It never recovered here in America. And our housing prices are still outrageously high right now because morons got right back into overbuilding. And what's happened is the builders have moved away from single family home building, and now what they're building is they're building for millennials, or they have been for the last year. They've switched their building from single family home to multi unit infrastructure, to where they're building these big condo units with retail on the bottom floor, or just high-end condominium units wherever they can throw them up, because that's what millennials want, freaking dumbasses. And they're building these, and then now all of a sudden millennials have switched, and millennials now want to own a home, but they can't afford to own a home, and they're being much more frugal. So Yeah, they're calling for 2 more years. We're into year 1 of the housing crisis. All right, go for it, Rocket. Rocket's got his chart. Let me pull it up. Go for it, buddy.
Yeah, it's right here, man. There isn't really much else to say, right?
Yeah, that's right. But listen, we need this. But here's the issue with the U.S. housing market. We are not going to crash down to the prices we had in 2007. In 2008, it's not going to happen, right? So, okay, just like Rocket wrote on there, your 200,000 home will be worth 130K.
That's still better than 2008.
Yes.
Still higher than 2008.
And let me tell you how I know that, because I was that guy at the auctions buying $225,000 condos for $28,700.
Oh man, I was gonna guess 50 or 60K. That's a steal.
$8,700. I'm not going to tell you how many units I own, but I bought a bunch of very nice condos in Las Vegas for a fraction, and they've all tripled in their value. But they've never fully recovered back up to full market value. Pretty much anything that was going for 150, 180, 200 was going anywhere from 29, 30 to 40,000 bucks back then. And now it's all worth it never went back to the full value. Yes, US dollar. Let's talk about the US dollar. I love it. All right. Let's see your US dollar chart. I like it.
Perfect.
All right, let's talk about the US dollar, and let's talk about it versus the Chinese RMB. So I want you to can you add an indicator onto that, please? Do a compare. I want you to compare the CNY.
China is buying deft on
No,
European
up.
You know, I can just.
Yeah, it was the Chinese.
I got it over here.
All right, yeah.
China is buying up debt on European countries, on poor European countries like Portugal. They're probably going to buy Greece and Italy too. And they'll use it to leverage in a few years when everything is going to shit in Europe, basically. So
And then
I would be
yeah. So and then pull up the if you can get a side by side. I don't know how many charts you can. There you go. Pull up gold and then the U.S. dollar. Man, fucking gold's almost at 1300.
Yeah, it should go to 1305 later this week once the S&P 500 starts moving down.
Gold was called at 12 though. So to whoever followed that and didn't get stopped on the way up, huge profit on gold.
Huge.
I mean, I like how it's holding here. I mean, we can go to the 4 hour on gold real quick. Right?
Yes,
Or the 1 hour, sorry.
China is buying gold. You have a lot of countries out there that are buying gold, and what they're doing is they're hedging their currency with gold because countries understand that once your currency starts to crash, you've only got gold to back it up. That's all you have. You have nothing else. Look at Venezuela. Venezuela thought, oh, we have oil because we have oil. Our currency is never going to crash. Our country's always going to be prosperous. Well, you throw on some U.S. sanctions, and that shit dried up really quick. Right now, it's cheaper to wipe your ass with Venezuelan money than it is to buy toilet paper.
JC, I don't think so. Europe should be the trigger for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much effect the Chinese yen's going to have on the dollar. I think they'll compete for a while, but I think the euro is going to take a total shit first, and then the yen and the U.S. dollar will start sort of competing with each other. But for me, first the euro crashes, right? Its whole foundation just tumbles. I think Europe's going to enter a 2008 level recession.
Tim just said the same thing. He said the EU is fucked.
It is. Yeah, we've been talking about it for a few months now.
Yeah, we've been saying to short it since like October.
Yeah, exactly. When we started calling the gold longs. So on Europe, there's no way around it right now. Even France is, which was something that in October we weren't seeing, but even France is going to go down. So I don't see any salvation for the euro long term. So yeah, just short it. And with this, I'm going to be out. It's 5:20 here, and my throat is killing me. So thank you, Vam, for having me.
Oh, thank you, man. Stayed a lot
it.
longer than I thought you would, man. Everybody, let's say thank you to Batman. Thank you very much, Batman, for coming and joining us.
I have to go fight crime.
Yeah, that's right. In his bed. Got to go fight. He's got to go wrestle two strippers to the ground. So listen, come on over here. Give Batman Until 1mil a like. Listen, he just cracked 10K over here. Anything always helps. Until 1mil. The man, the myth, the legend. Thank you so much for being here, Batman. We really appreciate it. Yeah, get better. Go out there.
Long, nano, raven, gold, and short the euro. That's it. Short America also. Bye.
All right, we're going to stay on for just a few seconds more. I want to talk about the U.S. economy, finish this up with Rocket, go over the U.S. economy, the world economy, and then we'll let all of you guys have a good night. So let's continue on here.
Well, let's do the oil recovery real quick, because this is going to do a gigantic inverse head and shoulder. Oil's just going to do a big inverse head and shoulders, and then it's going to go back up to like $60 a barrel. So no more $1.90 per gallon gas for me, unfortunately.
Why is oil going back up?
It's just supply cuts everywhere, man.
Yeah,
it's because the OPEC was trying to shut down the U.S. shale companies, basically by dropping oil so heavily.
Yeah.
And we're trying to bankrupt Russia all at the same time, right? That's why Russia has to buy Bitcoin. It's because their oil is now worth nothing.
Nothing. Yep. Now listen, we're going to keep pumping oil out of the ground until every single dollar, every single drop is gone under U.S. soil. Because in the next 30 years, it's going to be worth nothing. We had this discussion, Rocket, the other day on the show, and we talked about how many electric cars or hybrid cars are out there on the road now compared to how many cars are going to be out there on the road in the next 20 to 30 years. And it's going to be 50% of the cars out there, or if not 70% of the new cars rolling off the line are all going to be hybrid and or electric and or both by 2030. And there's going to be no demand for oil. Once cars no longer need oil, China is working right now to remove every single gas-burning vehicle off the streets of China. They're trying to get rid of all of them, switch them all over to natural gas or electric. I was just in China last week, and let me tell you what, they do not. So a lot of people drive mopeds over there, little motor scooters. Every single one of them is electric, and you can't hear the little fuckers coming. They're like ninjas. They just fly out of nowhere. They're super deadly. They're like these heat-seeking, silent ninja missiles. And, I mean, they can just wreck you real quick, dude. I mean, we're just walking around, and they just fly right by you.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, I get about 13 miles per gallon in my Ford Explorer Sport, right? That's I want a Tesla though, right? There's tons of them around by me. Like I swear to God, like everybody has a Tesla now. So I'm probably gonna buy one in the next year or two, and then that's gonna be it. I'm just gonna throw wall chargers in the garage, and the wife's gonna get the SUV version, and that'll be it.
Yep.
Then we will no longer be driving a gas car, and not like it really matters. Like I don't really care. I work from home now. I spend maybe $30 a week in gas, like max. So I really don't care. But man, the tax write-offs will be nice. I will say that. And it's just a matter of that's just kind of where things are going. It's cool now to have an electric car.
And they drive themselves, dude. I have the new Volvo SUV, the XC90, and that thing drives itself. It is amazing. And the gas mileage is really good in it.
Yeah, like the Explorer has kind of like the same thing. It's got I don't know what it uses, some sort of weird radar thing, but it'll stay in the lane for me on a highway. Like I don't know, I won't have to put my hands on the steering wheel, but then it'll tell me I have to. But
or
it'll turn off the auto. It'll turn off the driving itself thing. But yeah, it does. So Ford's working on it. They're just, they're still on the gas train.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is America, so.
Yeah, America. So, all right. So let's take a look at your oil chart. Oil inverse head and shoulders, and then a pop up. Now, I do think we're going to have a slowdown in global demand. So I would wonder how that will affect your oil chart with a slowdown.
This is only going to go to like February, man. We're talking like.
Got it. Okay.
We're talking like 2-week trade here at most. I'm just going to long it down here, and I'm just going to sell it up here.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, because I see the global slowdown coming. Now, once again, I'm going to say the U.S. is just going to be the turd on the top of the bowl. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, if we just go to the dollar chart again on the daily, again, I mean, it's not necessarily an inverse head and shoulders, but it's just support and resistance flips, right? You have bounce here, come out, you confirm this area. Here, let me just draw the line. All right, so what you have is just support and resistance flips. We come up, pump over it, confirm this as support now. Now we have a nice trend as well, right? We go up again, hit trend resistance, come down, and now we have this horizontal support, resistance turns support again. So we're just, the indicators agree with me here on that. Right, it's just nice rolling over. This is just going to bounce this trend and then take right back off. For gold, I'm going to aim for a new high by June. I'm going to be looking at the 98.50 region on gold or on the dollar, and that'll kind of coincide with what we're talking about. This coincides well with the euro dump, right? I can go to the euro index as well. Right. I mean, this thing's just going to fall out of the sky. Look at how weak this is, right?
Show me that, and I back that up. I can't see the top of it, how far it's fallen. What is it? What's the euro to dollar right now?
Euro dollar is actually bullish. I'm long on it right now for a scalp play.
Seriously, the euro is the EU is falling apart. That sure looks like a head.
But it's just going to dump right here.
It sure looks like a head and shoulders.
Yeah, it's just going to dump again here. This is a head and shoulders right here. But this is just a retest. It's going to come up here. It's going to wick this again. This 579 area right here. And then it's just going to dump. The euro will come down here.
God, is it going to fall below a 1-to-1 ratio, though?
I mean, a 6% drop in a currency is huge, man. And this is the 3-day chart. So
yeah, but the euro is just in so much trouble, dude. Is it going to get down to 1-to-1 is my question.
Oh, yeah, no, it'll go worse than that.
All right, good. I want to go to Europe next year. Go to Europe.
Actually going for the honeymoon.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Okay, so here, right, this is a stop hunt here, right? This is a simple stop right here. Retest support and then take off. This is if anyone is interested in Forex and just go through Dante's stuff or whatever, you can learn some order flow dynamics and stuff. But basically, yeah, it comes and takes out this low. So there's this takes it, comes up, retests this, and then takes off, right? Takes off. Now we have this head and shoulder. And it's never perfect because it's an index, but you're looking at taking out this. So you're looking at a 10% drop in the index. So you're looking at this is going to be your 1-to-1. This is where your euro hits 1-to-1 and then goes under. So, and it's just in a big downtrend, right? You can even say on the 3 days, this is just a big channel.
Ooh, I like it. It's like 80 cents to the dollar.
I mean, why would you long? Why would you long this?
Yeah.
I mean, you have a head and shoulders on the 3-day inside of a big downtrend channel. I mean, this thing's going to go down here.
Yeah. Ghost says there's a big trading gap. Hold on, Ghost. I'm bringing up your chart. All right, there's Ghost Chart. Ghost says there's a massive gap between, oh, Jesus Christ, 1138 and 1128.
Yeah, it's right here. I just circled it.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, massive. Yeah, what chart are you on, man?
He's got,
Did he post it?
CME. Yeah, it's on I'm showing it right now.
Oh, it's continuous contract. Yep, that'll go. That'll go there, man, for sure. See you there. I'll see you there, man. I'm shorting 15,750, and then I'll see you down there. I'll play that. I'll play for that gap.
Good job, Ghost.
The futures cartel runs the market, so they run every market. But yeah, and that coincides well with what we're gonna. I mean, this is just the index, but that's gonna coincide well with this because this is definitely.
I gotta start playing for it.
You know, it's gonna come off.
Yeah, it's so easy to play these markets. Ooh, I lost you, Rocket.
Sorry, yeah, man, right here. It's just gonna come up, test this blue line again, and then it's just gonna fucking free fall. Actually, this could coincide well with Brexit. Brexit news is tomorrow. So if you can call this the retest, I think there's a wick there, right? Oh, there is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So if there's a good Brexit news tomorrow for the GBP, this thing's going to just absolutely, just colossally. It's going to be, this could be the euro short will be the trade of a lifetime. For sure. It's going to be like the equivalent of buying Bitcoin at like $1,200 before the bull run. That's what this is going to feel like for me.
Wow.
That's how I'm looking at this. Yeah. And this is going to be a long time. You're talking, into the middle end of 2019. But it's going to be one hell of a trade.
I think Great Britain just told, the EU was telling them they had to pay them like $38 billion, and I think Great Britain told them to go suck an egg or something.
Yeah, they're not going to pay anything. I just want to pull up my Euro USD chart real quick. Why the hell is it loading this? I don't want that. Oh man, yeah, I kind of already did. Kind of already retested. So yeah, this is just gonna go. I mean, I longed this down here. I'm just gonna have to log on real quick and just. I mean, my take profit hit with these wicks. Unless the spread got me. I should just be flat, but I want to short this now. Yeah, this is gonna be this is gonna be a trade. This is gonna be a trade, man. Oof. You can see it just couldn't hold it. Tried to confirm it as support, came up, made a lower high, got denied, and now it's just tap it, dump it. You can see these little wicks here. It's just a stop parade. Now it's just going to go and take out the lows. So yeah, the euro is going to be, man, it's going to have a hard time. What are you doing with Ethereum here? I see it going down a bit. It's not. Same thing with Bitcoin. I'm really waiting. I'm waiting to catch a long scalp here. I really am. I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to grab a long in here and just close it up here. 7. Something like that. All right, man. I'm going to call it a night.
Yeah, right. Awesome. Thank you.
Need anything else?
Listen, people, go out there. Great show. Thank you all so much for being here. Get out there. Help Rocket. Let's go over and find him. There he is. There's Rocket. Get over there. Give this fine young man more upstanding than shown. Listen, this guy's, he's getting married, right?
I just got married.
Just got married, right? So
3 weeks ago.
Listen, so right there, he gets to join Vamp's, no longer smart guy camp, right? Because once you are married, you are automatically thrown off the smart and or intelligent list by all of your friends and fellow married guys, right? He's an idiot. You'd have to be married to understand it, guys. If you don't like half of your shit, just come on out and get married. If you don't like any of your shit, just go date a stripper, okay? They'll be happy to cut it up, burn it, scratch it, key it, destroy it for you. So you do have choices in life, right? But one of the choices you don't have, look, we are 6 people away, 6 followers away. Can we get 6 likes for this gentleman? So close. We can hit him at 2,000, right? Single guy life is the life, everyone. Yes, single guy life. So let's just go over and do a little really quick thing over on Bitcoin. I would like to update my chart here. I know we didn't really have a chance. We've been just chatting with everybody. So looking at this wick, looking at the volume dying off, for me, I'm looking at a retrace back down here, right? Come on back down here, test this, test the 7MA right there, right? And then at the point of the 7MA, you got the choice, just like Rocket's saying, you do have the ability to make this puppy, and we're going to flip this around here. So you're either going to run this back up and then down, and or you're going to have to hold, right? We're going to be looking to hold or retest this. You're going to be looking to rehold or test again this 35.15, and we think this is really, this is what's got to, this is what's the gimme here. This has got to hold here, so there's, you're either going to drop here and you're going to come down and test right here, and or we're going to drop and go up. But let's just be very careful trading in here. The volume has just gone to absolute badoo-doo. Okay, so our volume has gone to badoo-doo. We're going to mark this in here. Still, I have not gone long on anything yet. I haven't gone long. I still have my 1-to-1 open on BTC. And I'm still short, so I'm short on Ethereum. I'm going to add one more little thingamabobber in here. Give me 1 second over here. I want to pull this up. I want to make a call out, right? Is poo volume, right? So we got poo volume right here. There we go. All right, so we got poo volume down here, and this is not looking good. This is looking like it's making a single doji. So this is looking like a bearish candle that this is forming. You've got 6 hours left in this. You really need to pull this baby off, otherwise you're going to you're just gonna you're gonna fall out of the sky right there, right? And that's it. I mean, I see this is really what I see. I see maybe just a little retest pop up, then down or down and up. But right now you're just looking at 2. You got to break this, right? Bulls need to break this, right? Right. So the bulls need to break this. And we're going to switch this. We already did that. That worked. Bears need to break this. Let's pump this up. All right. And there we go. All right. Bulls need to break this, and I might make this a little bit. I'm going to put a range in here. All right. And then I'm just going to leave that line right there. And I'm going to remove this, because we know this is a cluster of resistance, but this is really what needs to get broken. All right, so this worked out really well. So we're going to change this, because this actually worked out. That perfected 9 worked out very well. Oh shit, I got Havoc calling in. Havoc! Oh shit, Havoc just tried to call in. Oh, sorry. Guys, sorry guys. Sorry. There we are. Got it. Sorry. Thanks, Havoc. Havoc just called in. Thanks. Okay. So here's my top side. So here's my range to break, right? And then here's the bearish. The bears need to break on the low side right here. Okay. Thanks for calling in, Havoc. Appreciate it, brother. And then this played out perfectly. So we hit this perfected 9. So we got the bounce off of this. Now we're going to look for TD red 9 flipped to a green TD1, and this can 1 to 4 candles for a reset, then dump. 1, the volume died. The volume died out, so any run up will be an easy short scalp play. Right, so if we run up on low volume, we're just going to scalp the living bejesus out of it. Any dump needs to break the 7MA at, where's that at? So we're going to try to break the 7MA at 3,600, 600, and then 35.15. So until we break 35.15, the bulls have the show. Okay? So the bulls still got this until they break 35.15, because we've seen over and over and over again that they just cannot break it, right? That they just can't do it. A couple of our indicators we're watching. So we are watching the, we're going to really keep an eye out on the volume. So we want to watch the volume right here. We want to watch the, cross. There's a daily cross, right? Let's go over and look and see if that daily cross happened. Right? Yeah, look, we had that daily bear cross right there. So there was that daily bear cross that played out. Now, having that played out this close to that's not that good. You don't like to see it play out this close. You want to see that a little bit higher, and then you get a little more bearish aptitude out of that right there. Okay, so I'm going to take this back over to 12 hour. Yes, and then right, so we're gonna the bulls have the highest resistance at 37.70, and then 38.10. Let's just give it a little running room, right, to like 38.20. So you've got a lot of resistance that's all up in here. And I'll squeeze, yeah, that's about good right there. Right? Alright, and we'll go just like that. Oops. Let's watch the 12-hour close here. Or spinning top. Okay. All right, I want to do really quick. I want to run to my daily. Same thing on the daily. So this 2-day that just opened, that's Interesting candle on the 2-day. A lot of moving averages. Like, look at all those moving averages clustered together at 3,800. 3-day, same thing, 3,800. Just a stack of moving averages. Now, I don't like this setup on the 3-day. You still got another day to kick this out, but that's kind of a bearish setup right now. Let's look at our weekly. Same thing, bearish setup. This candle setup for me is an inside bar setup right there. Let me show you this. Let me show you this last candle right here. I'm going to show you this setup. There it is. So this is an inside bar, mother bar candle. So look, you get the run up here, right? There's your run up. Look at that candle, very nice. You post up this this big mother candle, this mother bar. Then you post up this inside bar candle here, and then this turns bearish. This can just march sideways here, bouncing back and forth. Now remember, this can just bounce back and forth here, then die out. This is still a red one, which is very interesting. You still have a red one. Your heaviest support, once again, on the chart is this 200 MA, so 3264. I come down here and a bounce off here, and I still am seeing, I still think we would bounce off of this and get a run back up. Now, to look at this structure on the weekly and think I'm going to get a run back up on this, yeah, I know likey. Right? I just don't likey that. Right. All right, let's see. You know, you got your resistance right there. It's the 7 MA. So you pop that 7 MA right there. All right. Weekly 7 MA is. So the weekly 7 MA is our resistance. 3,800 has a shitload of MAs parked as resistance. That was bullish right there. Yep, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that. All right, I just want to make sure I got everything played out here. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, that's it. Anybody have any questions? I think that's it. I think I'm finally done. Yay. I pull my other charts back up over here. All right, that only took forever. Longest show ever. All right, thank you guys. Yeah, great show. Dude, I got to get Chone on tomorrow. I'm going to get the big Chone on tomorrow. Let me see what I can do about getting the Chone man on. And I want to say thank you, all of you, every single one of you out there. How many people? Not bad, not bad. We got a nice little show going. I want to say thank you to every single person out there. We are from Trading Associates. That's our new super cool PC. Trying to no cartoon character trading, whatever the hell we are, conglomerate. All right, I want to say thank you guys each so much. Hey, and you know, the best thing you can really do to help me out for all of our time spent here is hit that share button, please. Hit Twitter, hit Facebook, and get out there. The best thing you can do is really just get out there, help the channel grow, and I would really appreciate that. Anything that you could do for me, that would be the most amazing gift I could ask for. Thank you so much. I am the Vamp, and I am out.